Hey everybody, great to see everyone. This is the Congress of Vienna and Europe after the fall of Napoleon Bonaparte and the French Empire. So, some of the goals of the Congress of Vienna is after Napoleon was defeated, the powers of Europe wanted to make sure there's a balance of power in Europe, that there wouldn't be one country that would be able to dominate Europe like France did. And they also wanted a policy of legitimacy, which was to put the kings back in power because every country Napoleon took over, he kicked the kings out and put somebody he could trust in power. And the long term legacy of the Congress of Vienna is basically about 100 years. It influenced the politics in Europe. So, to understand why the Congress of Vienna was needed, we'll take a look at this map. And it was Europe after the French won and created the French Empire. So this purple outline is the entire empire of France. And that was in about 1812. And when Napoleon was finally defeated at Waterloo, all these countries got their freedom back and they had to decide who was going to be in charge with all the Enlightenment ideas. Was it going to be democracy or were people going to go back to kings? Of course, they wanted to go back to kings, the rich did. The people really would have liked a democracy. But here's the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. This is after Napoleon's last 100 days, his final bid for power. A grand coalition was able to defeat him, and by him I mean Napoleon, and basically end the French Empire. And here's some paintings, all the fighting with cannons, rifles, muskets, soldiers. You can see their bayonets fighting in the cities. Very deadly. Now, Count Klemps von Metternich was given the task of deciding what was going to happen to all the countries after the fall of the French Empire. What kind of governments were going to be put in those countries? So they met in Vienna, and this is actually a piece of the Congress of Vienna. Some documents about the meeting. And here's a illustration of some of the people that met in the Congress of Vienna. Count Klemps von Metternich ran it, and here are all the other wealthy Europeans that showed up there about reorganizing Europe after the fall of the French Empire. And if you look, they did set a lot of boundaries. Kingdom of France was just right here, no more French Empire. Spain was a kingdom once again. Portugal, and if you look, the red line right here, they're going to unify and bring together all these German-speaking people. And Otto von Bismarck is going to play a big part in the unification of Germany. And Germany is going to be a strong country to oppose France. Then you have the Empire of Austria right there. Another detailed drawing of the people who were meeting at the Congress of Vienna with Metternich, deciding the fate of post-French Empire Europe. And that was a big thing. Remember, Europe under Napoleon was the French Empire, and he'd take these countries over and he installed somebody he could trust to run these countries. Okay, so Napoleon also, his big mistake was attacking Russia. Hitler's going to make that same mistake too. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.